Well, we're all set for another session of information, please. Let me introduce the cast. This is John Kieran, our sports expert. Then comes Franklin P. Adams, noted columnist. Then we have Oscar Levant and composer. And as our special guest this time, Mr. Boris Karloff, celebrated stage and screen actor. Now, as you know, Information Please is unprepared and unrehearsed. I fire questions that they've never seen or heard before at this quartet of experts. When a question is muffed, which happens, we ring a cash register. And that means that Pathé is contributing $25 to the Will Rogers Memorial Fund. All right, suppose we have the first question. This is a question on murderers. What murderer of fact or fiction put the intended victims on a fattening diet? Are you scared, Mr. Adams? What murderer put the intended victims on a fattening diet? Mr. Levant.
In Hansel and Gretel, the witch fattened the boy.
That's very good. And the girl, too. Be fair.
I was wondering why not the girl. I don't think the girl.
No, I think that she fattened them both. She didn't play any favorites. That's right. The witch and Hansel and Gretel. Now, which murderer whistled in anticipation of the crime? Mr. Karloff. Let Mr. Karloff start us off. Maybe Mr. Levant.
A part that was played by Peter Lorre.
Yes.
M.
Yes. In the motion picture M.
Little.
Yeah. You certainly enjoy recalling these things, Mr. Karloff, don't you? Now, what murderer, of fact or fiction, cut his prospects down to size? Cut them down to suit himself. Mr. Kieran.
Procrustes.
What's the story of Procrustes?
We had the iron bed that if you were too short to fit it, he would put on the springs and stretch you full size, and if you're too long, it just chopped the extra part off.
That's right. He was known as Dr. Procrustes, a man with a bedside manner. What? All ready for another? Here we go. What song title is brought to mind by the action you are about to see? Let's have the first.
I got that.
Got it, Mr. Levant?
Clap hands, here comes Charlie.
Clap hands, here comes Charlie. Very good. Try another. Positive. We have two hands. Mr. Adams, will you start us off?
I think she's writing I Love You, Joe.
That's right. What's it from?
When we were a couple of kids.
That's right. What's the song called?
School Days.
School Days. Who wrote it?
Gus Edwards.
Attaboy, Mr. Adams. Fine. Thank you, children. And now the next one.
What, no pigeon?
We haven't finished, Mr. Adams. Better make sure. Hold it. This is only the first act. See?
I'd like to sit myself down and write myself a letter, whatever it is.
Mr. Levant, that's exactly right. I think we're about ready for another, gentlemen. Let's try this. Some bits of pantomime are going to be enacted on the stage, and they should suggest to you famous mirrors of fiction. We want you to identify each mirror, after the usual amount of reflection, of course. Identify these mirrors for me. Let's have the first. I have two hands. Mr. Karloff?
Alice Through the Looking Glass.
Alice Through the Looking Glass,
by
yes.
Lewis Carroll.
That is exactly right. Thank you very much. Now, how about this next act? What mirror of fiction does it suggest? You're sure of this, Mr. Kieran?
I think so.
Yes, Mr. Kieran?
The Lady of Shalott.
The Lady of Shalott. What was the young lady doing?
She was looking backward at the world through a mirror out the window, and I believe it was Lancelot who came caroling along.
That's right.
And she saw him, and she turned and looked, which was forbidden, and she said, "The curse is on me," and she died.
Very well told, Mr. Kieran.
The Lady of Shalott.
Now, if you've recovered from that one, we'll try another. Here it is. This one is about nursery rhymes, gentlemen. Can you identify the nursery rhyme from the action that you're about to see? All right, let's have the first. Can you all see the label on the bottle? You've got it all ready, Mr. Adams? How about
Jack
it?
and Jill went up the hill.
That's right. And what's the stanza which gives the tips us off?
Vinegar and brown paper.
Yes. Can you give us the whole stanza in your inimitable fashion, Mr. Adams? Then up Jack got.
Then up Jack got, and home did trot.
Yes.
As fast as he could caper.
Nice. And?
Forget the third line.
And went to bed.
Went to bed to mend his head with vinegar and brown paper.
Perfect, Mr. Adams. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, youngster. All right, out with your vinegar. And let's get ready for the next pantomime. The boys get younger. Can you make it out? What is the young man holding? Mr. Kieran, will you help us out?
Well, he has a pocket full of rye,
He has a pocket full of which pocket?
the right-hand pocket.
And how about the left-hand pocket?
There's a loaf of bread,
What kind?
rye bread.
Yes, so he's got 2 pockets full of
Yes,
rye.
sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye.
That's right, that's right. Thank you very much. Sorry I couldn't get you to recite one of those nursery rhymes, Mr. Karloff. It would
I'm
be one of
very
the,
sorry, too.
It would be one of the great triumphs of my life.
You had an unhappy childhood like mine. Look at the difference in the way we grew up.
He scares people professionally, Mr. Levant. In what
Am I
movie...
taught a lesson again?
We go on
you
with
heard
the-
a lesson.
Now here's another one. Some actors are coming in, dressed in costumes representing queer characters of literature. You are to identify them. Very simple question. Pretty hard to miss that. Mr. Kieran,
Long John Silver,
how can you tell?
from his from his crutch and one leg.
Yes, and what else?
And the parrot.
And the parrot. That's right. Long John Silver from Treasure Island.
He was a parrot, wasn't he?
A
Parrot and a pirate.
Now the next one is a great contrast to Long John Silver. Look the young lady over carefully. Mr. Kieran.
I believe that is the Blessed Damozel.
It is indeed. How can you tell?
By the lilies and the crown on her head, and her hair was yellow like ripe corn.
Yes, that's beautifully said. Thank you very much. And the 7 stars in her
And the stars in her crown were 7.
were 7. That's right. Who wrote the poem?
D.G. Rossetti.
D.G. Rossetti. Thank you, Mr. Adams and Mr. Kieran. Now the next one. Mr. Levant.
Charlie's aunt.
Charlie's aunt. It's a pretty good job.
And what are you doing later?
Very nice. And did you notice the pectoral muscles? Well, this next one ought to give you a good workout. We're going to show you some glasses. Mr. Karloff, do you drink?
Well, now,
Not at the moment.
yes.
An invitation. An invitation.
Because the next question has to do with what drinks should be served in some glasses that you're going to see.
I know one anyway.
Now, I want you to begin at your extreme left.
Give me the
At my
second one.
extreme
It's so
right.
easy.
What one should be drunk? That first one there. Mr. Adams, will you start us off?
Champagne.
Champagne. That's quite right. Your favorite drink, Mr. Adams?
My favorite drink.
And now the one next to that, Mr. Levant.
Brandy.
Brandy, yes.
You do that and get the bouquet.
That's it. That's known as a what?
I got a bouquet. The glass?
The glass is known as a what?
It means you have a lot of dough for a brandy glass.
That's true enough, but it's called a balloon glass, as Mr. Karloff was probably about to say. Now, next to that is Mr. Adams.
A julep.
Yes, a mint julep served in a silver cup. And the next, Mr. Karloff.
Beer.
Beer or ale. And
Ale.
what do you call the container?
A
A
tankard.
tankard, usually made of what material?
Usually made of pewter.
Usually made of pewter, as this one is. And the one next to that, Mr.
A
Karloff.
highball.
No, I can't see it exactly. I don't think so.
Too high for high.
It's a tall glass.
No, it's a very special sort of drink.
Coca-Cola.
No, it's the matter of fact, there's no... Mr. Karloff.
A zombie.
A zombie, yes. Call it a day, gentlemen. Class dismissed.